For 2 long weeks, Hollywood fans, film historians, and generations of movie lovers held their breath, waiting to learn what claimed the life of Diane Ladd, the 3-time Oscar-nominated actress whose career spanned more than 6 decades. And now, the mystery has finally been put to rest. At 89 years old, Diane Ladd, beloved for her unforgettable performances in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, Wild at Heart, Chinatown, and the cherished Hallmark series Chesapeake Shores, passed away quietly, leaving behind a towering legacy. But as with many iconic stars, the silence surrounding her cause of death only intensified curiosity. Today, the details emerged, shedding new light on her final chapter while prompting an even deeper appreciation for her extraordinary life. A Hollywood loss that hit hard. When news broke 2 weeks ago that Diane Ladd had died, tributes erupted across Hollywood. Colleagues, co-stars, directors, and even younger actors who had only grown up watching her work expressed deep grief and heartfelt admiration. Her daughter, Academy Award-winning actress Laura Dern, delivered a gut-wrenching tribute, calling her mother, "a force of nature, my guiding light, my hero." The emotional statement made it clear Ladd's passing was not just a personal tragedy for her family but a monumental loss for Hollywood. Yet at the time, neither Dern nor family representatives disclosed the cause of death. Public interest surged instantly, understandable, given Ladd's resilience in recent years. She had battled serious respiratory issues in 2018, when doctors reportedly told her she had only 6 months to live after severe lung damage following accidental chemical exposure. But Ladd shocked medical experts when she recovered, crediting long walks and deep conversations with Laura Dern during their healing journey, later turned into their co-written book Honey, Baby, Mine. So the question lingered: what finally brought an end to the remarkable life of Diane Ladd? Cause of death revealed: complications from pneumonia. 2 weeks after her death, representatives have confirmed that Diane Ladd died from complications related to pneumonia, a condition involving inflammation of the lungs that can be especially dangerous for older adults. Sources close to the family shared that Ladd had been feeling unwell for several days before her passing, experiencing shortness of breath and fatigue. Despite receiving medical attention, her condition deteriorated rapidly. Pneumonia is often called the old man's friend, not because it is kind, but because it frequently strikes the elderly quickly and unexpectedly. For someone with Ladd's past lung issues, the danger would have been even more severe. This revelation brings both clarity and a sense of inevitability. After fighting fiercely through previous health scares, Ladd faced a final illness that even her legendary strength could not overcome. A legacy that redefined American cinema. To simply call Diane Ladd an actress would be an understatement. She was a storyteller, a powerhouse, a woman whose presence electrified screens big and small. Her career, which began in the late 1950s, showcased her as one of the most versatile and emotionally resonant performers of her generation. 3 Oscar nominations, and each one special. Ladd's Oscar-nominated performances stand as milestones in Hollywood history. 1975, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, for her fierce, fiery portrayal of Flo, a waitress with attitude and soul. 1991, Wild at Heart, a role so intense and unforgettable that it became a defining moment in David Lynch's surreal cinematic universe. 1992, Rambling Rose, a performance that made history, as both she and her daughter Laura Dern were nominated for Academy Awards for the same film. This mother-daughter achievement remains one of the rarest in Oscar history. An artist who bridged generations. Diane Ladd belonged to a mighty group of performers who managed to stay relevant across time. She worked alongside Hollywood legends such as Jack Nicholson, Ellen Burstyn, Cher, Robert De Niro, and Dustin Hoffman, yet also captivated younger audiences through more recent projects. Her later work in Hallmark's Chesapeake Shores brought her a new wave of devoted fans. To that audience, she was not the sharp-edged waitress of the 70s or the haunting villainess of the 90s, she was the warm, wise Nell O'Brien, the matriarch whose steady presence anchored the series. Ladd loved that role. She often said it reminded her of the Southern storytelling traditions she grew up with. A personal life filled with triumph, loss, and resilience. Born in Mississippi, raised with a love for theater, and determined to make her mark, Ladd embodied the spirit of classic Hollywood perseverance. Her life was marked by achievements, but also by profound personal heartbreak, including the tragic death of her infant son. Still, she pushed forward. Her marriage to actor Bruce Dern produced one of Hollywood's most celebrated actresses, Laura Dern. Though their marriage ended, their artistic collaboration did not. Mother and daughter frequently worked together and openly celebrated each other's successes. Ladd remarried, rebuilt her life, and eventually became not only an actress but also a writer, director, and producer. Her memoirs and interviews often highlighted her passion for nature, family, and spiritual healing, values that grounded her even amid the chaos of show business. Laura Dern's quiet grief and strength. The release of Ladd's cause of death puts into perspective the quiet sorrow Laura Dern has carried over the last 2 weeks. Friends close to the actress say she has been taking time away from the spotlight, focusing on family, reflection, and honoring her mother's wishes. Their relationship, known to be one of Hollywood's most intimate and supportive mother-daughter bonds, has always moved the public. When Ladd nearly died years ago, Dern became her companion in healing, walking, talking, and reflecting daily. The news that pneumonia ultimately took her mother brings a tragic sense of full circle. Hollywood reactions. A wave of love. Once the cause of death was made public, tributes from across the entertainment world resumed with fresh emotion. Ellen Burstyn called her a sister in art and heart. David Lynch released a short, poetic statement. Diane was magic, real magic. Mark Harmon, who worked with her on Chesapeake Shores, described her as the soul of the set. Younger actors spoke about her generosity, mentorship, and fierce advocacy for the craft of acting. Even fans who never met her shared stories online of how her performances shaped their childhoods, their understandings of strong women, and their love for cinema. Why Diane Ladd's death hits so hard. Some stars leave behind major blockbusters. Others leave behind iconic characters. But Diane Ladd leaves behind something richer, a legacy of emotional truth. She embodied characters with an honesty rarely seen today, flawed yet fearless, soft yet unbreakable, dramatic yet deeply human. In an era where many chase fame, Ladd chased depth, story, and meaning. That is why her death feels like the end of a Hollywood era. What comes next? Honors and celebration of her life. With the cause of death now public, the family is expected to announce a formal celebration of Ladd's life in the coming weeks. Early reports suggest the event will feature readings, musical performances, and appearances from longtime collaborators. Film institutions are already preparing retrospectives, including AFI's Diane Ladd Tribute Week, Turner Classic Movies Spotlight Marathon, a special Academy presentation honoring the Dern-Ladd multi-generational legacy. Fans, too, are planning memorial screenings, especially of Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore and Rambling Rose. A final goodbye to a true Hollywood original. Diane Ladd's cause of death, complications from pneumonia, may explain how she left this world, but it will never define her. Her life was defined by creativity, fire, humor, resilience, and an unshakable passion for storytelling. She was a woman who fought for her art, a mother who inspired her daughter, a performer who made audiences feel something, truly feel something, every time she appeared on screen.